With so many people adopting a sedentary lifestyle at work, on this episode, we look at the workplace and diabetes. We spoke to Joy Crosby, a retired nurse, to find out the challenges faced by people living with diabetes in the workplace.
There are quite a few challenges for people living with diabetes in their workplaces, but people are very different and their work is very different, so the challenges can be varied. But first of all, I think that as we're all living in this era of the pandemic, I think we're all living with a certain degree of fear and anxiety that we could contract COVID-19 at our workplace. And I know this is especially true for people who have underlying medical conditions such as diabetes, hypertension, obesity, kidney problems, HIV, things like that. People have very sedentary jobs and it is very difficult for them. They're sitting at their desk all morning, all afternoon, and by the time they get home, they are very tired. They don't feel like exercising. And exercise is one of the cornerstones of controlling diabetes. And it is very difficult for people who have a sedentary job like that to include exercise in their daily routine.
The workplace can be daunting for people living with diabetes during the COVID-19 pandemic. We spoke to Ndiko Gidi, FNB Botswana Wellness Manager, on how the bank ensures that people living with diabetes are at less risk of contracting COVID-19 at the workplace.
As FNB are obligated to comply to the national protocols and guidelines. The Public Health Act supersedes everything else right now, and we comply to those regulations. We have adapted to all the protocols, national and global protocols by the WHO and the Botswana Public Health protocols, and we have just branded them and personalized them so that we get more fellowship, so that we get more adherence. We provide ongoing education with regards to mental health and managing your mental well-being, your health in light of COVID. We provide ongoing support in various platforms that we have developed within the workplace. We encourage our employees to have their masks on at all times. There's information around that in all our platforms. We try and enforce that, or rather we enforce that in our regulations. Internally, we've got a COVID-19 policy now that speaks to adherence and compliance to protocols. So we continue to educate our employees on self-care, self-management, so that they protect themselves, so that they protect their colleagues and their families. What we have done as FNB, or rather as part of the first RAND group, we have encouraged all employees with comorbidities that put them at higher risk, such as diabetes, to declare, so that we can enable them to work from home to reduce the risks of developing COVID. Because as you know, it is common knowledge that people with existing comorbidities and conditions are at risk for contracting COVID-19 and developing complications associated with COVID-19. But currently, we have encouraged that most employees work from home. We have enabled the majority of our employees, I would say about 75%, have been enabled to work effectively and efficiently from home. The essence being to protect themselves, to protect their families, and to have less people in the environment so that we reduce further risk exposure.